welcome to another episode of Shooting
the Shit with Rachel
and Neal Young. So we're talking all things real estate photography business growth, mindset, and getting it done. Here come your favorite true entrepreneurs, Rachel and Neal Young, shooting the shit.
I have a ferret on the podcast. Like if we're kind of in a slump, like what kind of things do you do?
Talking about a boob light.
Straddling a power line.
Nice photo.
Ooh, I need that.
I'm like red right now because I'm embarrassed. I go like this. I love it.
Come in.
Sure, use your podcast voice.
Well,
Over here, I'm kidding out.
drone's like flipping to the ground.
That's a great callback.
Chit-chatting.
Is that what you call that? Hey!
This episode is brought to you by my admin. Well, HD Photo Hub, which is basically like having an admin.
That's right. And it's not just a delivery platform. It's a powerhouse designed to make your work shine. From stunning teaser videos and social media reels to custom property websites and polished printable flyers, HD Photo Hub automates it all so you can focus on what matters, growing your business.
That's right. Hey, he's back again. I'm excited. Rachel's excited. We've got Jordan Powers today, guys. And Jordan, we're talking about some fun stuff today. So A&D Photo Summit is coming. It's a couple months away, so there's still time to get on board. We're going to chat about that. But also really want to talk about a few hot topics like slow season coming and AI and how it might be impacting our industry. So Jordan, say hey and give people a little spiel about yourself in case they haven't heard from you before on our podcast or elsewhere.
Hey, yeah, I've been kind of quiet lately all around, so I haven't really, there's probably a bunch of people that, I don't know, maybe don't know who I am or anything, but I'm Jordan Powers. I'm a photographer. I'm in the Southeast United States. Photographed real estate from like 2011 until probably 2022, maybe. And then basically started shooting architecture and design photography starting 2018-ish. And then now that's what I do full time. So that's it.
Cool.
Yeah, and you sold your real estate photography business, correct?
Yeah, so in 2017, I brought on, so the guy I was hiring out my drone work, and I ended up bringing him on board to do the photography. And yeah, he was great with clients, fun guy to be around, just very, very casual. He'll hopefully be a PMRE, some of you guys will meet him.
Oh, cool.
My name is Jason, but he ended up, long story short, he took over the business. We just worked out a deal. When I moved south, we worked it out to where he took it over the course of 4 years, and we just incrementally sold it off. Like I was very hands-on with him the first year, like doing all of his editing, consulting with him regularly. And then, yeah, over the course of a couple of years, we just slowly transitioned it out. And then I was free and clear, and he had it all to himself starting, I think, 2024. So
Good job.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. So and
he's doing great. Good for him. Like
that's so cool.
I almost kick myself sometimes. So I'm like, gosh, did I make the right decision? Like, like you don't make as much money. I mean, you have, I believe you have more financially, more possible, easier. I don't even want to say easier. I don't even know what the right word is. You can make more money doing real estate photography.
I think there's more potential to make more because you can replicate yourself easier than with architectural and design, right?
Yeah. And it's also, it's a lower barrier to entry. It's a lot of it is just FaceTime marketing, getting in front of people, like putting yourself out there. And it's the same with architects and designers and builders and everything, but there's more realtors, there's more houses for sale than there are houses being built and buildings being built. So the pool is just much deeper in the real estate world, in my opinion. So that said, you go from making, a comfortable salary every year to like kind of starting over in a way with a completely different, especially when you move across the country like I did. So anyway, I'm rambling and nobody probably knows half of what I'm talking about right now, but
no, I think we're with you.
Jordan's a very impressive photographer. If you don't follow him on Instagram. What's your handle, Jordan?
If I'm such an impressious photographer, don't you know my Instagram?
I'm just Jordan Powers, I'm
Jordan
sure.
Powers.
It's Jordan Powers with no vowels.
Yes.
Well, there's two. There's two that we know, so we get confused too.
Oh, I've got that's right. I've got my personal account with it's just Jordan Powers _ That's just like iPhone photos, like random, randomness. Yeah.
Which will blow your mind.
I was just joking with you, Rachel. I didn't mean to call you out like that.
Well, I think one of the
very visual. I don't remember your name. Come on.
I know.
Well, it's like phone numbers too, though. Once you have them in your account, like you follow them, you don't pay attention anymore. It's like I couldn't tell you anybody's phone number anymore because you don't use it anymore, you know. But
Yeah.
well, so I want to I want to just ask this question for everybody listening, probably who's real estate photographer, going, well, why? Why did you switch? Was it that was exciting to you about that versus what you were already doing?
I've thought about that a lot. And let me start by saying, going back to when I first started, I guess around 2011, when I first started in real estate photography, I didn't think about architecture at all. I didn't think about that as a separate thing. I was just like, oh, a new thing I found, started doing it, started making some money, and I did that for a few years. And then I think it was around the time maybe when Mike Kelly's course came out, where I'm like, oh, you can do like, you can work for architects and stuff. It doesn't have to be just real estate. Because around that time, I was starting to get a lot busier. I think what ended up happening is just over time, I started, you know, becoming friends with a lot of people in the industry. They were starting to do architecture and design, and it just was appealing to me. And, you know, the more I started talking about it and thinking about it, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of a cool thing. And it became almost a goal to start shooting some, but it wasn't necessarily like, oh, I want this to be my permanent career trajectory. But what ended up happening was, you know, come 2018, 2019, I was busy, like just as busy as you guys are, I'm sure. And then I started having like I'm getting sick of this, like this grind. And
Starts to feel like a grind.
yeah, it was around that time I shot my first architectural list for an architect. And I really enjoyed the process. I enjoyed slowing down. I enjoyed spending an entire day, taking my time, actually like hanging out, becoming friends with the client, and just, you know, having a good time in a cool house on an entire day, for an entire day rather. And I think I just started chasing that at first. And I know this is a very long answer, but it's, you know, it's a progression that happened, you know. And then eventually what happened was you know, we talk about real estate media right now, but like the real estate media thing, I think I kind of started doing that around that 2018 timeframe, because I really adapted the story brand framework to my business, to where my other photographer was doing the most of the shooting, and I was doing more like consulting with my clients, trying to set up like marketing strategies and whatnot. I had built a studio, so I was already pivoting away from real estate photography. I was more moving into like marketing and video production for my clients. And that was like 2018, 2019. And then eventually I just, you know, I started gravitating more and more toward architecture. And yeah, I think after the pandemic, we just kind of realized, I was like, you know, I think you know, it became insanely busy 2020, like everybody. I just kind of was like, I'm getting burned out. I don't necessarily want to do this like this anymore. Yeah. And unfortunately, where I was at in Minnesota, there wasn't a huge client pool for architects and designers. I had a couple clients, but nothing really serious. And then we just decided to move south and went to Nashville. And that's basically when I started doing full-time architecture photography.
I remember
I don't even know if I answered the question.
No, yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I was just wondering why you decided to switch and do that. And I think, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. You know, it's a different, it feels very different. And sometimes you reach that point in the business, like, yeah, when you start to get so busy, anything that you do long enough starts to feel like, is this really what I want to do? Is this it starts to become just work again? And I'm sure there's the allure of this. You dive back into the creativity and you get your hands, you start, you know, because I feel like real estate starts to be all the same, you know. You put your camera here, you click, you know, and so I think I could see that would be appealing too, to just change the pace entirely, to really dive back more into some of the stuff you love, which is we all probably got into it for just loving taking photos that were creative and inspired us. And I think you can tap into that a little bit more. So I'm sure that is part of that reason that started to pull you that way. That, and, you know, different rhythm, different everything. Instead of driving around your car all day, you drive one place and stay there, you know? Yeah. So, but I think that answered it for sure. Sorry, Rach, what were you saying though?
I remember. So Jordan and I met, I think it was like 2018. It was early.
It was probably around the same time. I was more just in that consulting and marketing mindset and getting out of the like photography.
Yeah, like you had just got that studio all set up. This was a legit studio, guys. It was awesome. Sorry, my cat is in this room and she needs to go. She's all over everything. Get out of here, Sonny. She's so cute. But no, you had that great studio and you were really ahead of your time. Like most people in photography were not consulting with clients, you know, that I saw, or getting on video and making legit like tutorial videos that you're putting out on YouTube. I mean, what you were doing was really neat. I remember you told me about StoryBrand, and I bought the book and I never read it. And then years later, I think I listened to half of it actually, and I was kind of lost because I didn't understand marketing at the time. It was like
You gotta be
brand
ready
new to me.
for it. You gotta be ready
You
for
do.
it when you're listening to it. Or
Yeah.
reading it.
I think I listened to it and I was like, okay, well, I don't really, it's not hitting with me, you know? I was like, whatever. So I moved on, listened to a bunch of other books, whatever. And then years later, John Reed brought up StoryBrand, and he did one-on-one consulting with me with it. And I read it. And when I read it, it was like, this is so good. Like, I get all of it. I'm like, how did I not understand this back in 2018? But, I was a fresh chicken. I didn't know anything about marketing, nothing at all, you know? And you learn
In
over the
fact,
years.
Yeah. Oh, sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say, in fact, I think the website, I don't think the guy who bought it from me ever changed the website. So the website that's up for my old photography business in Minnesota is still that story branded website, I think.
Wow.
Basically what I did was I took all the photos off of it. There was no portfolio. It was all about the client, the client was being the hero or whatever. The whole story brand framework, but the front photo was me talking to two of my clients at our conference room table.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Like that's the real estate photography website I had. And that was like, again, 2017, 2018 when I did that. And yeah, we had a whole like 400 square foot green screen studio, podcast studio. We did all kinds of marketing things. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I actually really missed that.
At that point, I mean, I think you were really exploring and finding that you had more to offer than what you were doing with the real estate. Like I feel like I almost am following your trajectory where I'm digging more into the videography side of things and the marketing and I really love that. And I love consulting with my clients and helping them understand how to build a personal brand and how to be everywhere, and how to craft these videos that actually grab people's attention and keep them watching, So, and you were doing this like 7-8 years ago before, like so early on. So you have been an inspiration to me.
Thanks.
But I think it's very normal as a creative to explore different areas. And, if anybody is interested in architectural and design, Jordan is an amazing resource. You're plugged into a lot of communities too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You can
for your summit, for your photo summit, is it all directed just to architectural design, or is there any sort of gateway drug for a real estate photographer to get in there? Or are there people that come from real estate like last year, that were like curious about it? Or is it really like hardcore architectural design?
Like scarves and
yeah. Does everyone have a fedora?
Fedora? Yeah. No, it's not that pretentious. No, it's look, I took a lot of inspiration from Brandon from PMRE. It's not like necessarily a party vibe, it's not Vegas.
It's also Texas.
But what the thing with PMRE that I always loved and I still love is that like, yeah, you go there for the information, but really it's like you get to see your friends, and that's kind of like the heart of it all, and I was like, okay, I've never put anything like this on before. And I'm friends with both real estate photographers and architectural photographers, but my career is now an architectural photographer and we already have a real estate photography conference. In fact, now we've got like 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah.
But there's nothing dedicated to architecture. So I was like, yeah, I'd like to make something that's dedicated. And again, I'm paraphrasing a lot of details that like I'm leaving out, but we wanted to make something that was like architecture and design focused. And when I say we about the conference, so it's not just me putting this on, there's an entire team. We have a committee that helps put the summit on. So it's the same people as last year. Shelby Bourne, Adam Taylor, Brian Berkowitz, Steve Magner. We brought 2 new people onto the committee to help plan this year, Sarah Shields and Kyla Chambers. And I don't want to say it's not for real estate photographers, but like we don't have anybody talking about real estate photography or real estate media.
Right.
We have, I think we do have real estate photographers that come, like everybody knows Mario and Cindy and Cheyenne and Andrew Vermasco. They were all there last year. Some of them are coming this year. There's a whole bunch of real estate photographers that are coming to this conference because some of them do shoot for builders or architects or designers on the side, or some of them maybe want that to be their career trajectory, or they want to approach real estate photography with a different edge.
That's what I was gonna say.
And, yeah,
Throw a
and
little bit of that in there, right?
exactly. And there's also just something to be said. Like the first one we did, when I think I talked to you guys was about the last summit we did in Nashville. And I didn't know what to expect. Nobody really knew what to expect. But the impact that it had on people to this day that like completely changed their career trajectories in some cases.
Wow.
Anton Benedict. Are you guys familiar with Anton Benedict, the name?
No.
He didn't really get into real estate photography. I think maybe he dipped his toes in there a little bit, but he basically just started his career in like 2019, 2020, 2021. I think it was 2021 actually. It was relatively recent. And he went to the first summit and again, still very new in his career, late 20s, a young guy. He like from one of the talks from Lisa Petroli, for those of you who don't know, she like if you've seen Chip and Joanna Gaines' Magnolia campaigns at Target, like that's Lisa Petroli.
Oh, okay.
So
she's okay.
She's fine. Mediocre.
Yeah. I don't think anybody knows who that is, actually.
I guess she's been in a magazine or
Joanna?
two.
Yeah. So she spoke, and it wasn't so much about the photography for Anton, like for her, but it was the fact that, oh, you can do this with your camera. You can do this with your business. You can do like these things. And he basically took what he learned from her and applied it to his own business. And now he's like shooting for like global hotel brands, flying all over the world. He's got a team.
I
So
just got chills.
yeah, it's not that it's
So cool.
it's not real estate focused. So I'm just trying, you guys know me, I'm long-winded, but hopefully everything I'm saying is relevant.
Yeah, it's all making sense.
Yeah, it's not geared towards real estate photographers, but like if you're somebody who is looking for something different in your career or just a different edge, yeah, it's a good place for you to be, because the people that are talking, they're not talking about how to do architecture photography, how to do interior design photography.
Right.
They're talking about like mindset stuff. They're talking about philosophy and like, they're showing examples. My favorite talk was Tanvir Badal. He's based in LA, and this guy is like very casual about like just his work, but he goes on these like 30-day long photo shoots, like in a resort somewhere around the world.
Wow.
And he just kind of he brings his family, and he spends like 30 days or whatever at a resort.
That's amazing.
And it's a mix of architecture, it's a mix of lifestyle, like it is a little bit of video here and there, but like
I could do that.
but that's
A little bit of hanging out on the beach.
Yeah.
it's not so much like, again, it's not instructional. That's what workshops are for,
Right.
But the talks are more around like what's possible and maybe a little bit of mindset around things. So that's, again, long-winded answer.
Inspiration. Yeah.
But that's kind of what we're.
Rach, can you imagine if you had to go back to a world pre-HD Photo Hub?
Oh, no way. No, HG Photo Hub literally saved my life during the COVID craze. With online ordering, their invoicing, the photo delivery, the Google integration, and just having everything on one platform, HG Photo Hub really does it all. And I cannot imagine my business without it.
Same. Pre-HD Photo Hub, I feel like I was just spending all my time chasing my own tail. It was horrible. The good news is our listeners get a special deal. If you enter the code STS, you're going to get 10 free full marketing kit deliveries. Remember, enter the code STS.
Yeah, and so I think what probably some real estate photographers would be thinking, or I might even be thinking, is like, oh, well, if I showed up at this and they're like, what do you do? You're like, I'm a real estate photographer. You're not going to get the cold shoulder. They're going to probably be excited to tell you something about what they do and help you if you're interested, right?
Well, yeah. So let me give you some perfect examples. So I just was talking about Anton. Anton is going to be speaking this year to talk a little bit about like not what he took away from the first summit, but how he's been able to build a career so quickly. So like I look at somebody like you, Rachel. Neal, I'm not sure where you're at in terms of building a team. You still have the one shooter, right? And you work with your wife as well?
My wife doesn't do real estate, but she does headshots and branding and social media. And then
She's part of the business though.
Yeah, and I have one shooter that is pretty much full time, and then another shooter that is just 2 days a week. Yep.
Okay, so for both of you guys, like Anton is a really good. He would be a talk that both of you would resonate with, because he's got he still shoots, but he's almost taken on a role of a creative director almost. He's got somebody who does his video for him. somebody who does a little bit of the photos. And I think he's got a team of 3 other people. So my point is he's got a team and he's kind of storyboarding. He's doing like the creative stuff at this point. He's still, again, shooting and whatnot, but he's doing these things globally now. I'm not saying you guys want to do global stuff, but it's almost like, okay, the real estate photography / media world is changing quickly with AI and everything. I think I'm of the philosophy that people need to adapt with it. You're not going to stop it. So, and when I say adapt with it, I don't mean learn all the tools. Yeah, that's part of it. But you need to I think people need to just pivot their entire business one way or another. And that's why I think something like this is valuable, because it's going to help people think outside the box.
Yeah, because anyone's going to be able to take their cell phone and take a photo in a house. I mean, realtors' assistants can go in and take it on their phone and get them uploaded and back within minutes. It's already possible.
They can do it now.
Yeah, they can do it now. It's like, but what sets you apart, right? If you can actually take a beautiful image that's beautiful, you're going to stand apart for sure.
Have you seen the Nano Banana?
The what? Nano Banana?
Yeah, it's a Photoshop plugin. It's an AI Photoshop plugin. And it's similar to generative AI, but it's like insanely better, on all kinds of levels. And you can, the one demo I saw of it, it's a paid plugin, but the one demo I saw of it, it was just absolutely insane. The guy essentially recreated an entire, it must have been like a hotel lobby or something. I don't know what it was, but he, changed the wall paint, changed the type of rug that was on there, and it looked real. He added people to it. The technology is almost there to where a simple cell phone photo could be turned into something else. And I'm not being a fearmonger. I think that it's cool, actually, and I think we can leverage it. But I do think that we need to separate ourselves as photographers, as creatives, because people aren't going to just hire us to do this commodity service that we offer. They're going to be hiring us because of us. That's my philosophy, at least.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And so many photographers right now, like HD Photo, have just rolled out their new Auto HDR, which is AI editing. It's a plugin. I haven't tested it out yet, but you get free credits. You can try it out. So, and I just had a guy reach out. I posted it on my story on the Grow page, and a guy reached out and he was like, oh yeah, it's not there yet. The windows are okay, but they're not up to your standards. I know what your standards are. They're not going to pass to your client. If your clients are like mine, they're not going to be okay with this. And I'm like, I understand that, but in a pinch, it'll do with the, 15 to 30 minute turnaround. We have a lot of people who need a photo back the day of, and I'm waiting on my editor. I'm like, if I knew how to edit, which I completely don't anymore. I don't edit anything. So it's, I'm 100% reliant on them. So it's nice.
It's only going to stay almost as good. It's only gonna stay almost as good for a very short time. Yeah.
It's come a long way in a very short amount of time. So it's
very short.
Yeah. It's coming a lot quicker than we realize.
So. And I think that, again, this isn't to scare people. I think there's still, there's more opportunity than ever, but you can't I don't think you can just keep on being a commodity, because everything you do, if you're a commodity, is replaceable, but you're not replaceable. So people are going to want to hire you for what you uniquely bring to the table. And I don't think that's going to change. I think that's only going to become more valuable. There's a guy, I can't remember his name. His name escapes me. Anthony, he's based in LA. I believe you probably met him at PMRE. Really nicely dressed dude. He shoots all the celebrity homes.
Yes.
What's his name? Anthony?
I don't know his last name, but he was wonderful. He spoke on my little interviews that I did. So.
Okay. So that's a guy that I'm talking about. So I don't know his work. I couldn't point it out. If you put his work in a lineup of other photographers, I wouldn't be able to point it out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not a good photographer. I'm just saying his work doesn't matter. It's him that matters. It's what he's built as a brand. The dude wears a suit to every shoot. He brings a first aid kit. That's one thing that stuck out to me, to his shoots. And they're probably in some kind of nice packaging. He has a whole package, is my point. He is a brand. He's built himself up as a brand and a service and just a personality, and I think of people I don't know. I mean, you could just name people that we all recognize their names and faces. It's not necessarily the photography that people are hiring them for. Maybe they say it is, but it's them as people. You know,
Yeah.
what we do is pretty much replicatable. Like anybody could do it. Even like I shot probably one of my favorite houses I've ever shot today. And it wasn't like the most amazing house in the world, but it was like the light was perfect all day long. Anybody could have shown up in that house and made some great photos.
Mm-hmm.
So the architect hired me because of like what I've been doing in my own business to separate myself lately. He could have hired anybody though, and he probably could have hired somebody for cheaper.
How can people do this? Like differentiate themselves and build a personal brand? Like if you were brand new into real estate or just a couple years in and you're like, okay, that sounds great, but how do I do that? Like, what would you recommend?
Okay, so a few minutes ago, you said you were kind of following in my footsteps, and it's funny because like a couple years ago, yeah, I was all gung ho on like marketing, doing all the things, being all the things for my clients, and then I decided to move across the country and restart my entire career from scratch and not get hired anymore and go through the growing pains of trying to start a brand new business. And then we decided to move again. And so imagine being where you're at right now.
This is where I stopped following you in the story and I go my own path.
It is. So imagine everything's going great and you decide to start over. You know, what would you do? Ask yourself that question right now. What would you do?
I would be all over social media running ads to my area. I'd go to every event that I possibly could to meet people. I'd give out a ton of free merch like I do. I'd offer headshot pop-up events because those work, getting in front of people. And
so you would build
I'd get into offices.
same business?
Yeah. I think I would. Yeah.
What
because
go ahead.
Because I know it. It's familiar. I know that I can grow it and get shooters in there and get right back to where I am today. Obviously, it would take time, but yeah, I'm confident that I could do it. I really want to work on my video department. That's what you want to call it. Might tweak that. The video
department, line 1.
That sounds so corporate.
What about you, Neal?
I think that I would go all in on marketing agents in video and getting them to be successful with that, not just for listing videos, but for their own social media. And they all need this so badly, and they're all so bad at it. And they really need someone to help them creatively. I think that I would get photographers to shoot very basic photography, which would just be HDR stuff. It's so easy to do the AI editing now, or editors that are very affordable and will have to become more and more affordable if you want to they're going to have to compete with AI, right? And so the photo part is going to be the easiest piece. You need it, I feel like, still. They're going to want the photos and they want the video stuff. So you have that, you get a team that does that, and then build a creative team that can really help these people understand social media, what they should be doing, guide them, maybe build a team. I think the other biggest problem is that when they get their media, they're failing with it, is that they really need help what to do from there. And that's either educating them or a service that replaces their need to have to do it themselves, because that's where they're really failing. Even if they have it, they're not doing anything with it. And that would help them be successful. So I'd tap into how can you help them be successful, not just give them photos.
Can I change my answer? Because I want Neal's answer. That was really good, Neal.
Let's say that is your answer. We'll give it to you. So the thing is, you guys are essentially building the same business. You're just doing it different. You're doing it with different.
Yeah. Well, actually, we are also doing it.
Model.
We are also doing a totally different business as well, Jordan, which you probably don't know. Is Rachel and I are also really focused on totally different avenue altogether, which is creating courses.
Why would you think that I don't know that?
Oh, I like that.
Jordan pays attention. Jeez.
But yeah, no, courses. We're doing a whole bunch of courses, and not just for real estate photographers. Yeah,
for your clients.
Yeah, we're tapping into how to get comfortable on camera. So we're making a 6-part mini series to help agents get on camera. So we've got Your Anywhere Studio is launching next week or the week after. Has to be ready by Thursday because I'm speaking in front of 200 agents about how to build your personal brand And one of them is get on video. I'm pitching my course. I'm like, I'm sick of getting on stage, promoting myself everywhere and not having an offering. This is stupid. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So for me, I just didn't want to do the same business anymore. And when I moved to Nashville, like we picked that city because of the potential for the commercial architecture photography, which is what I wanted to focus on. Because you've been to Nashville, it's growing, and it's grown even more since you were there last. Nashville is like the place you want to go, and at least at the time that, if you wanted to pursue commercial architecture photography for me. And I saw that the SEO, like I was able to get ranked number 1 on SEO within 14 hours of like working on my SEO. So there was a lot of opportunity there. And within the first couple of weeks of moving there, I had my highest paying job ever. So I wanted to completely do a different career, and I wanted to start over from scratch. And when it was slow, I was like, I should start doing real estate again, because I know how to do it. I know how to replicate it. And I did a couple of real estate shoots. I was charging a lot for it. I was charging like $500 for photos only, but I every time I did it, I was like, what am I doing? It's like sugar. You're not supposed to eat it, but
I have this battle every day, Jordan, every night.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
That's a good analogy.
I love real estate photography. I love the community. But the work was like becoming, I just wasn't aligned with the work anymore. And so when we were doing all the moving and I was starting to do more architecture, I was like, okay, I enjoy this. I enjoy chasing this. I enjoy that I get to take my time. I can like get a little more creative. I started enjoying photography again. Doing real estate photography, you lose the interest of photography. And then eventually that turned into, hey, I actually want to, not that I want to be like an artist, but I really want to kind of carve my own path and do my own thing. And for me, that ended up being kind of freeing. Like, I went and assisted Simon Devitt, who's an architectural photographer based in New Zealand, and a friend and mentor of mine. And I went and assisted him for a day and just kind of watched how he worked. And it was like really inspiring for me. This dude shows up, gets flown all over the world, and he just walks around with a camera handheld and just shoots what he thinks is interesting and does what he wants. And while we're there, he's getting calls left and right for work and licensing. I'm like,
That's not cool.
he's just casual about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That is appealing to me. And that is started pursuing that path. And, my marketing kind of changed. I stopped posting to Instagram as much. I started doing more like actual genuine interactions with people through like DMs and comments and going to networking events and actually meeting people, trying to like get to know people. I started doing this video series on YouTube, which is, I call it semi-silent, and it's basically, it's weird. But it's just a behind the scenes of me shooting an architecturally designed home with no talking.
Oh, interesting.
I talk too much. So I'm like, hey, maybe I'll make some videos without me talking. So
I think that would be actually impossible for me to do.
go and watch one of them. So
Good job.
I've put 3 out so far. I've got 2 more editing,
these.
but they've directly led to work that I want to shoot.
That's so cool.
And
Congrats.
What it is, it's so essentially I was inspired by like hiking vlogs, like silent hiking vlogs. And have you ever, this is so weird, it's like a whole YouTube culture, but there's like these Japanese vlogs that are like silent vlogs where people are just doing life and they just film themselves doing life, cooking and whatever. Anyway, I got inspired by that. I was like, I wonder what this would look like with architecture photography. So anyway, that's the kind of marketing that I'm doing right now. So it's really just one-to-one, reaching out to people, talking with people, building real relationships, and then showing them how I shoot through these videos. And yeah, it's working so far,
Good job. Good job.
Thanks.
Can we talk a little bit? You mentioned you got ranked number 1 in SEO in 14 hours.
14 hours of work.
Okay.
And I was ranked number, but that was on a Friday, and by Monday I was number 1.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Teach me your ways, old wise one.
Well, here's the thing. SEO only matters if you're getting, like, SEO doesn't matter for local work. SEO matters if you're in a market where people from outside of your market are looking for a photographer in your market. So that was with Nashville, that was the case because like literally everything that was going up was from out of town developers and out of town builders. Very rarely were the local architects that were finding me. Eventually they would find me, but that's why my SEO worked so well, is because people were finding me because they were looking for photographers. You got to be from out of state. Like even now my SEO doesn't really matter all that much because every city that I shoot in is saturated with photographers and they're all local architects that I'm trying to market to. So in your guys' case, SEO isn't really going to matter all that much unless you want to start targeting people who are out of town, out of state, or out of town developers.
I was running Google Ads a few years ago and I just put like $150 a month towards it. And I honestly forgot that it was running. And I kept getting new clients and I was like, where did you find me? And they're like, oh, on Google. And I was like, okay. And it happened over and over and over for a few, like 3 or 4 months. I was like, dang.
Well, keep in mind, so like, yeah, people are still going to search Google, but keep in mind, we also have ChatGPT. And that's actually becoming a thing that we should start focusing on. Like people, like Brian Berkowitz has gotten, I think, 2 clients from ChatGPT alone.
Oh, wow.
I know Arturo and Lauren have gotten a couple. I know I was ranking for ChatGPT for architecture photographers.
How do you rank in ChatGPT? Where does it get its information for that ranking?
Basically the same way Google does. I think I asked it at one point, like, how are you finding this? And I think it's really just based on current SEO standards. Like it doesn't really crawl everybody's website the same way Google bots do. So it's pulling from search results to an extent, but it's also, and I had other people check it as well for me so that it wasn't just biased by my own ChatGPT usage.
It's just making your ego.
Yeah, it's just so make sure you have other people check it for you as well, but like it does work. And like I said, Brian's gotten at least 2 inquiries from it. So
do you ever just watch ChatGPT working? Do you ever see like, would you ever like, do you use it as much as me when you you ask it all these questions and it's like, it's taking a little longer to give a good answer for this one. Searching websites, wondering if the good answer might be to dive a little deeper into. You ever see it like doing that stuff?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I never thought about it. Now that you mention it, yeah.
I want to like freeze frame every one of those and see what it did. Like,
yeah,
that's so funny. I bet we could ask ChatGPT how to rank on ChatGPT, and it would tell us exactly how to do it.
It'll tell. I mean, I had it give me a guide one time, and then I never read it. I do that a lot.
I do that a lot.
Well, it gives you.
I do that a lot too.
Long.
And it's like,
it's too much.
Just tell me the answers. Don't like give me the brief summary first, and then just give me the answers.
Yeah,
it like phrases your whole question and then tells you the answer.
Don't you wish it would read it to you? Like, I wish there was an audible button where I could be like, read the answer to me, please. I don't want to read it.
Well, you can if you do the chat on the phone.
Yeah, I don't do it on my phone a lot of times. It's on my computer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the little speaker thing on the right, you just talk to it and talk back. But
you can talk into it on your computer, too. I talk into it, but it doesn't talk back to me.
Oh, on the computer.
I want it to talk
do that
back.
on the computer. Yeah. I barely ever do the computer just because I don't know if maybe it will. Maybe I can talk into it. But that's why I hadn't, because I thought I had to type it. So I always do it on my phone just so I can talk because I'm lazy.
You can talk. It works. I was like, I'm going to try it. And it worked. Like, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Sometimes I like it talking back to me, but then sometimes it just takes too long for me. It's a female voice for her to tell me the whole answer. I'm like, I want to scroll down.
ChatGPT has been a really helpful tool, like for like not even just business, just like it I don't want it to think for me, but like it does help me sort thoughts out and stuff. It's helped me with my like workout plans, like a lot,
Yeah. Meal plans.
It's a great tool.
Yeah, I've had it make meal plans for me.
Yeah, just brainstorming and thinking things through and having it ask you questions about, hey, I've got this problem I'm trying to figure out. Can you ask me a series of questions one at a time?
Yeah.
And see if we can come up with something here. So it's just helping you brainstorm faster. Like you would sit there and write it down on paper and then scribble it up and start over, and it just does that faster, basically. Yeah.
Neil always sends me ChatGPT's answers when I'm like, confiding in him for something. I'm like, what do you think about this? Da, da, da. And then he'll text me a ChatGPT answer. I'm like, that's not what I wanted. I wanted
Neil,
your answer.
do you think there's an
said.
afterlife? And I'm like, well, ChatGPT says.
Like, Neil, use your brain. Come on.
I used my brain to ask ChatGPT in a framework that would give us a very good answer.
It's always a very good answer. I appreciate your effort of ChatGPT.
So,
for me.
but what you're really saying though is you would much prefer Neal's human response over the AI.
Well, the problem with the AI is it's so darn long, and then I gotta sit there and read it forever. And I'm a busy person. I don't want to read. I'm lazy. I don't want to read
So
all
what
that.
she really wants is the chat. She wants me to figure out the best questions to ask ChatGPT and then to summarize what ChatGPT says back to her as a human.
Okay,
Right.
so what I just did for you guys, I'm transitioning us back into
Are you
so
our
so
podcast
this is
therapist right now?
this is how
You're like,
this
we're
is
in
how
therapy.
this is how you separate yourselves from the competition. You can still use AI, but use it to your advantage.
Mhm.
Use it, like the. I don't have a good transition. I was just pretending.
No, we
I
have
do.
to. We
I
have
do.
to though.
Go for
we
it.
have
I have
to
a good
use
one.
AI.
I
Yeah.
have a good example. I did a shoot for Real Producers, and the gal, her video guy, left. He moved out of the state. She's like, I need someone. He just moved so abruptly. I have it's been a month, and I have 4 listings, and I need walkthrough videos done and reels and stuff. And I was like, oh, we have a new offering, Social Boost. I'll do it. She has a photographer, doesn't need photos, just wants video. So I'm like, I'll send you, a proposal of what I would charge you for video. So I went on ChatGPT and wrote it all up and pumped it full of a little bit of brand awareness stuff but she told me she doesn't want the videos to be too trendy with too many effects, but she wants, some effects. And so I pumped it full of all the information that we talked about, everything, just talked in and told it everything. And it spit out a video proposal that was absolutely amazing that I emailed to her. I tweaked it a little. I added a little bit more of my flair and my voice because I literally just met her. So she knows how I talk. So I did that and then I sent it off and she wrote back and she was like, let's have some fun together. I'm in, and I padded the prices pretty well. It was great. I was like, okay, if I'm just doing video, I'm going to make it worth it. And this is what we are worth, So it was cool. It was great. It took me 10, 15 minutes to do that. Whereas if I had to come up with that all on my own, it would have taken me a lot longer.
Can we talk about price really quick? I don't want to hog the conversation too much, but how often are you guys increasing your prices? Where are you at with that?
Every year I increase mine. I didn't increase my prices for the first 5 years of my business. I felt like I had started out kind of very competitive and a little bit on the higher end, just so I could compete with the big guys. So I looked as good as, they were. And then about 4 to 5 years in, I was like, okay, time to raise them. Raised them up. Next year, raised them up. I raised them too high the second time. So 2023, I kept getting complaints that our prices were 20 to 30% higher than the competition. And a lot of it was our Matterport pricing because everyone hates doing Matterports. I'm like, well, let's make it expensive. Then we don't
still do Matterports.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Wow.
God,
Yeah,
I hate them.
a lot.
I hate them so
I
much.
know.
My
It's
clients
so-
know that I hate them. They apologize when they're like, I know you hate it, but we need it. That's how bad I am about Matterport.
What about iGuide?
It's too expensive.
Yeah,
Is it?
Yeah.
that was the problem I had.
Unfortunately.
That was the problem I had when I tried it out was the way they charged for the square footage for the prices we had around here. I was just like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And my clients I don't think that they care enough to see the difference in iGuide versus Matterport because iGuide, in my opinion, is a better product.
It's faster. That's
Right.
mainly why I was bringing it up.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, actually, my shooter today had a problem with the Matterport 360 camera. It was taking 3 minutes to do a single scan. So he just did it on his phone, the whole thing. And it looked
my
pretty
gosh.
good. I was like, he was like, yeah, and it took 30 seconds each one. And I just did it with my phone. I'm like, huh, really? Now, this is the first I've seen, so I have to go through it a little bit more and see if it's actually something we could replace with our phones. That would be nice, but and not have to and to grow a team. If you didn't have to, everybody didn't have to have a 360 camera. If they could just use their phone, that would be amazing. I'm sure it's only a matter of time. If it's not, I don't know that it's perfect yet. I don't think it is based on what I just saw already. It just doesn't go as high for stuff. But again, good enough is the enemy of better, right? Do the agents care that you can't look straight up at the ceiling? Or is that just me doing that because I'm a techie nerd? They're like, yeah, do it. You can see the house. And if you can make it a little cheaper doing it on your phones, then we'll buy that instead, right? So
How much?
same thing with
How
AI.
much? Here's another question for you guys. How much does quality actually matter to your clients? And I'm not saying what you think they like.
A lot.
How much does it actually matter?
A
I know
lot.
they might say it does.
This is what I've been really pondering lately is, I don't know, some certain things But a lot of times I'm thinking that would all, if they didn't know any different, if I never showed them my style with Flash and whatever, if I always just HDR and edit it from the get-go, I think they all would have been fine and still gone with my service. And I think if I switch to it, I'm afraid to, but if I switch to it, I think the bigger thing about our business is it's not just about the photography. It's like you're saying, it's about how we show up. It's about that we're actually trying to help them succeed, and that we're actually trying to help them do better, and we're actually helping them with video and having a presence. I think a lot of that matters equally, because there's a lot of people who can take a good photo. There's a lot of people who can take a good photo. And so why do they keep coming back? Because I'm not the cheapest in town either. You know?
Well,
yes, they do like the good photos, and they do want it to impress their clients. And that's a big thing they always mention. But would they really notice the difference between like the HDR, if I edited it well, versus my Flash ambient? I think that 95% of them would not know the difference or possibly care at all.
I think it's more the angles. For my clients, it's the angles. They notice a huge difference. Like I had one shooter that was just not as good of a shooter as the rest of us, and people complained a lot. And I mean, I worked with them. We got him up there, but there was a pretty big difference. So I think the angles
they care
are
that
a
we
big one.
care. They care. A big thing that they care is that we care. That I'm not just going to shoot it with, the sponge on the sink, and the other cheap guys that run in and run out will. Right. So yes, my quality's better, but also I actually give a dang when I show up and actually do things to make sure it looks better in general. Like, hey, should we have all the blinds the same level? Oh yeah, we should do that. Thanks, Neal, for mentioning that. You know what I mean?
So I think a lot of it's just this perception management, really. And like when I'm going back to your guys', if I asked you like what would you do if you were starting over, it's like I think that is where the value actually is. I don't know that people actually care about his quality as much as they think they do or they say they do. I think they're going to listen to you if they trust you, and you're gonna teach them what good quality is. Yeah, sure. I'm not saying that
they also don't
good
know.
Quality doesn't matter, but there's courses out there that teach you how to become a real estate photographer in a weekend.
Right.
I think a lot of them don't know, honestly. If you took all the local photographers and put their work together, and you and I would go, well, these guys aren't that great, I think that a lot of them wouldn't be able to pick, like, well, I think they can, but I'm not sure they can. A lot of them don't know the difference between a slideshow and a video, for example.
Oh, still, and it's, look, my point is, I just think that it's important to start really thinking about, not so much about the quality and like getting better with photography. I think it's about like discovering what you are uniquely gifted to do, what you get excited about, and how can you apply that to your business right now? How can you take what you know and help your clients? And I think, like what you guys are doing is a really great idea. Creating like a course for them, like a 6-part series, having some kind of consulting with them to where it's less about the photography and less about the video. It's more about like, hey, how can we help you succeed? I think that is what's going to be the most valuable thing in this like AI world. And I think that goes across all industries, not just real estate.
Well, think about it too. If you have a business and you get big enough, the first thing you do is outsource something that you don't want to do anymore, right? So you build a team of people that help you succeed. And so if you can be a part of that team that helps them succeed in one way, because they're always not going to want to do, even if it becomes easy for them to do the photos on the cell phone and edit on the cell phone, they're still not going to want to do them. They still would rather focus on what they like, what gives them the most joy. And if that's photography, they probably would be a photographer, so yeah, I think service. And the other thing, I think about this a lot. I think a lot of us go into this business as photographers thinking we got to be the absolute best creative. And then the next step is now I got to grow a team. And you kind of go into this mentality that I'm the best. Well, you can't have everybody be the best. You can have a team of everybody's the best. No, you have a team of everybody who's really good and skilled, but there's got to be more to it than that. Right?
Yeah.
I think my biggest, what I see being the biggest threat to our jobs is big companies coming in or new companies coming in that are offering real estate photography services for dirt cheap because they're doing AI editing
AI.
and offering same day turnaround that looks very similar to what mine is. But
Yeah, that's right.
are they going to show up on time? Who are they sending? They're paying these people what, $20 an hour, $15 an hour, whatever, you know?
I think
And
speed might be a bigger factor than price. Absolutely.
right. So that's kind of what I see happening with the industry. But like you're saying, Jordan, 100%, like set yourself apart by being their trusted partner and someone that
Yeah.
deeply cares about their business and their growth, and show that to them by building the relationships with them and helping them and chiming in and commenting on their stuff and, you know, showing them creative reels that you want to try with them on the next shoot, you know, like let's have fun together. Like we're all
Well, and there-
human.
Yeah,
We
and
want
there's some people that
connection.
don't. There's some people listening that don't want to do that. They don't want to do
Yeah.
that kind of business, and you don't have
Mhm.
to. Just be unique. Like be like who's it gonna like Dom? You know, like I haven't talked to Dom in a long time. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know what he's shooting, but it's like I know Dom's personality,
Yep.
and he's consistent,
Mm-hmm.
and he's unique. He's not all polished up. He's just Dom.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's good enough. Dom doesn't need to start like some kind of consultancy or marketing agency for his, he's a brand and he's done that for himself. So, you don't have to do all the things. You can if that lights you up and you enjoy it. But if you just like being around people and you're just fun and you have a unique thing, like leverage that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I should.
Well, I love that.
You should.
Just wear a
I
suit
do.
every day.
That is what I
for
do.
your
I
shoots.
feel like that's half the reason I was successful is that the agents just enjoy photo day, since they didn't care about it before, but now a lot of them like enjoy and look forward to photo day because we have fun and we like what we do.
Look, it's a break for some people. People like photo shoot days, sometimes if they're not super busy, like it's an escape from their day to day, especially if
So
you can
true.
make them have fun. Yeah.
Psst. Sorry to interrupt. If you haven't heard, Rach and I are using Pixl CRM.
Pixl CRM isn't just another boring tool. It's basically your business's best friend. With Pixl CRM, you can automate your lead generation, follow-ups, client communication, and stay top of mind with email campaigns. And there's just so much more.
And if you want, you can try it out today. Just go to pixlcrm.com/STS and you're going to get the first month of Pixl CRM free.
Well, let's just say that maybe one way people could potentially, add something to their repertoire, separate themselves, and add some more value to their clients if they wanted to tap into some of the design architectural stuff. You have the photo summit going on right now. Can they sign up? How does that work? Tell us the spiel.
Yeah. So it's happening March 4th and 5th. It's in Austin, Texas. And but the idea is to do it in a different city every time we do one. So first time it was in Nashville. This time it's in Austin. It's going to be 2 days of speakers and 3 days of workshops. So we have workshops Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. And the speaking event is on Wednesday and Thursday. We've got 7 different speakers. We've got a panel of architecture, design, and marketing clients. We've got we've got a lot of workshops. One thing we did this year different was last year we had several full day workshops. This year we have mostly partial day workshops, which are like 2 to 3 hour sessions. Some 4-hour sessions, but it's so that people can go to multiple things in one day and like talk about different topics. So we've got people talking about like a lot of business end of things. We've got a high-end retoucher that's coming to talk about that. We've got one thing that people are very excited about is Emma Peter, Simon Devitt are going to be doing a workshop together. And then Joe Fletcher is coming. Joe Fletcher is like, you guys, I'm not sure if you guys would be familiar with him, but he's kind of just a very popular architectural photographer who does not do stuff like this. But we got him to come speak, and he's also going to be doing 2 workshops, and that sold out within 3 minutes.
Wow.
His workshop, just because he's just, he doesn't do these things, and he probably won't do them again. We've got Kendall McCordy coming back to do a workshop. She's a fantastic architecture photographer based in Chicago, and everybody fell in love with her. She talked last year, and she was kind of like the highlight of the entire conference. So she's awesome. Yeah, we've got there's so many workshops. I don't want to like go through the entire list. You guys they can look at the website, adphotosummit.com. But as far as speakers, we have people from all different, I guess, ends of the industry. Like I talked a little bit about Anton earlier. He'll be coming to talk a little bit. We've got Kiana Bowen, who is Easton Lane photographer. She's based in the Northeast, and she is she had like a stint on like with like an HGTV show. She's an interior design photographer and an interior designer. She's a great speaker. We've got Emma Peter coming to talk. People who went to P. Murray have been familiar with Emma. She's been there a couple times. But oddly enough, she hasn't spoken to an exclusively architecture and design photography crowd. So this will be unique for them. Simon Devitt's coming back by popular demand. Joe Fletcher's going to be speaking, like I mentioned. We've got Kyle Iskra. She is a high-end retoucher, and she's based in Brooklyn, but she retouches for a lot of like the top interior design photographers. So she'll be talking about her perspective on that. And then Jenna Guy-Duzik, she's the AI. She's an AI interior designer. So she was one of the favorites at PMRE. So she's coming to speak here. In fact, Brandon found her through a workshop that her and Brian Berkowitz did for photographers. So it's kind of full circle. She's coming back to talk to that. And then we've got Stephen Carlish will be hosting a panel, the client panel that I talked about. So Stephen Carlish, for those of you not familiar, very popular interior design photographer. He's got a course on lighting. It's kind of a fundamentals course, but it's like, in my opinion, it's the best course out there on interior photography lighting, partially because I helped him produce it. But I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, he's fantastic. He's fantastic at what he does. And like literally pretty much, I don't want to say everybody, but he has definitely established a look, and you can see people like, you can see the influence he's had on the industry for sure. And then we've got Matthew Anderson coming back to speak. He's also going to be not speaking, but hosting. I understand he's also hosting at PMRE. So
sweet.
It's kind of, so yeah, that's it.
So where should they go to get the tickets? It's all in person too, right? There's not like an online or anything like that.
No, we currently don't have any. We're not going to do a live stream this year. At least we're not planning on it. The only way we would end up doing a live stream is if we get enough European interest or like outside of the States, mainly because I know that like travel's kind of a thing, like crossing into the country is kind of a thing people are concerned with from what I hear for both PMRE and for other things. So if enough people like show interest, I would do a live stream, but like right now nobody's showed enough interest in that. adphotosummit.com or ad-photosummit.com, either one will bring you there.
Okay,
sweet,
awesome.
What I'll do for everybody listening to the podcast, if you use the code STS at checkout, you'll get the group rate, even if it's just one of you going, which is $500 off your ticket. So
wow,
anybody can use that.
That's
go.
Outstanding.
Okay, I'm going with that discount code. I'm going. Heck yeah. Did we say the dates?
March 4th and 5th in
Austin, Texas, baby. Yeah.
Oh, I kind of want to go.
Yeah.
I wanted to go last year. It didn't work. This
What's
year's
stopping
like,
you this year?
oh, I got to find like a mule sitter. I think it would be really good for me to help push me past what I'm doing now, because I'm kind of bored with photography, the photography side of it, and it might just spark me to want to play more with light and play more with moody, shots and detail shots and stuff. I've already been telling my team, like, do more detail shots. We'll review them in our meetings. I want to see more architectural and design stuff from you. So it could probably help me build my team up too.
I'll say this too. It's even beyond that. It's also like, again, there's a lot of like philosophy and like inspiration. So it's not even about, I think we're doing like one workshop that's like how to, and it's like Stephen Carlish is doing and his wife Kristen Carlish are doing a combined workshop where they're basically just doing creative lighting, just small, like they're gonna bring some florals in, they're gonna do some arrangements and do some small spaces, and just to like break free from the just to do something different for a change. Simon Devitt is like, if you're like craving creativity and you just want to like figure out how to tap into your creative muscles, like that is the solution. Simon Devitt, his talk and his workshops, You know, the thing was with Simon, he's I don't think he'd mind me saying this. He's kind of an artsy fartsy dude. Like he does things his own way, and he does not like there's nobody like Simon. He has his own way of doing things. He definitely marches to his own drum. Is that the expression?
Yes, it is.
He just
Beats to his own drum or marches to his own drum? Marches to his own
There's
beat.
marches to a beat of another drum, I think. Maybe it wasn't it.
He
know
does
what
a little bit of it all. He does a little bit
He
of all.
colors with crayons in his own box.
He definitely does.
That's not it.
And
That is definitely not it.
you know,
Keep going, Jordan.
his
Ignore
talk
us.
last year, he was the last talk. And imagine being at PMRE and you've had fun, you've been meeting everybody, and Simon's going to be speaking at PMRE this year too, by the way. He'll be there in November. But you're having fun, you're hearing all these presentations on, business and photography and like what's possible and whatnot. And then you've got Simon that comes up and he basically throws it all out the window. And he starts this presentation off with like something like a color is not a color or something. It's like it's 100% philosophy, poetry, like really he basically just helps you like deep dive into like being a creative.
Cool.
I don't know
Is
how else
Simon
to describe
French?
it.
Because I'm picturing French. A color
Zealand.
is not a color.
He's like he's from New Zealand, but
that ruined it for me. Damn it.
yeah. But my point
That
is
was an
like,
accent.
it's not
Yeah,
it's
sure.
no. If you go there like as a real estate photographer, what's this gonna do for my real estate photography business? Then I don't know. We're not teaching or talking about real estate photography there. We're just talking about. It's not even talking about photography, really. It's just talking about, hey, this is how, what I've done in my business. This is how I approach life. This is how I approach business. And then, as you guys all know, it's you talk to people, and it's the networking that ends up being really valuable.
Sounds all totally applicable to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So very cool. Awesome. Well, cool. Okay.
Sweet.
Can we just end on a color is not a color?
That's not what he said. I can't. Yeah. If anybody wants to watch his talk from last year, he's given me permission to share it. But he's gonna be at PMRE. I think people will enjoy his talk.
I can't wait. That's awesome. Cool. Well, thank you, Jordan, for coming on so last minute with us again.
Yeah.
Love
It
it.
wasn't last minute. It was the last hours.
That's true. Yeah, those hours, not
You
minutes.
gave me some notice.
Very good point.
Thanks for having me on, and it's good to see you guys and talk to you. And thanks for letting me talk about this a little bit.
You too.
Always,
of course.
dude. I'm excited for it. It's really cool.
I just
Good
have to be
response.
careful. I have to be careful not to squirrel out because I get inspired by a lot of things, and then I'm like doing too many.
You want to do all the things.
I want to do everything. Why
I
can't
picture
just do
Rachel just
everything?
running around her real estate shoots with a ladder and tarps, like just tarping everything. And people are like, Rachel, can you just shoot the house?
Yeah.
But the light is going to be beautiful.
I don't know that you'll get that inspired.
Hang on, I gotta just put this light outside the window and shine it in. It'll look like real sunlight. It's gotta
Yeah.
be beautiful. They'd be like, she really cares.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways,
Just let her do her thing. Just let her do it.
it's her creative process.
She said something about a color is not a color, and now she's running around with a ladder and a tarp.
and a fedora or whatever.
With
you
a
call it.
fedora and an accent. I don't know what's
Scarf.
happening.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's good to see you guys again. And thanks for letting me talk a little bit about the summit.
Yeah, for sure. Check it out, guys. If you're interested in learning anything about A&D, these are the best in the biz. All the speakers that he has lined up are absolutely incredible. So don't miss out on the opportunity to see them live in person. I think it'll be really cool.
Awesome. Cool. Always a pleasure, dude.
All right. Bye, Jordan.
We'll see you soon.